Okay, first let me give you the family connection. My grandmother, Rose Logan, before she gets married, is Rose Powell. She is the sister of Hecky's father, Forrest Powell. So my grandmother and his father are brothers and sisters. We grew up very close. Hecky was my older cousin, and he always tried to make me not follow the street because as a young man, Hecky was a street guy. He hung out on the street. He did a lot of stuff, you know. And I remember my mother had to take him to the Artie home. When he was a little young kid, my mother took him to the Artie home. And so when he got out, he came right over to see what I was doing, and he started checking me, and, you know, you can't be like me. You got to be different. Hecky's parents is Forrest Powell, the father, and Verna, my Aunt Verna, who is a Powell now. I don't know her maiden name, but she's still alive. My mother, being his older cousin, took him to the Artie home so she could drive. And then she went and picked him up. And when she picked him up, he would always check on me. I remember one time we were stealing radios out of our cars, when I'm young. And Hecky comes around the corner out the alley. So everybody standing still, I start running. And Hecky says, ain't no sense in you running because I can catch you. And he caught me and slapped me all upside my head. You will not be going to the Artie home. You got another job to do. I think that young experience of the Artie home and things made him understand what sitting in a disenfranchised place would lead you to. And I think his hustle, he always had hustle. He could hustle even when he was on the street, so I think that's just a natural occurrence in him. And then Tom Fuller bought the Masonic Temple, I remember, and him and Tom Fuller were close. So I don't know how it ended up, but somehow Hecky's Barbecue ends up in that building because Tom Fuller owned that building.
And who was Tom Fuller?
Tom Fuller at the time was one of the water reclamation officers at the time.
And so, like, what's your fondest memory of Hecky?
My fondest memory of Hecky is singing street corner harmony, like, you know, on the street, with a do-rag around his hair, and he has a process, and he's singing, you know, they're singing all these spirituals and stuff on the street, him and a whole bunch of other boys from the neighborhood. That's my fondest memory of Hecky.
How do you think he changed the community? How do you think he...
Well, yeah. I think the first thing that he did was, because he was part of the disenfranchised group, he made sure that he hired kids from this neighborhood for years and years and years. So a lot of kids, their first job is at Hecky's. So I think that did a powerful thing. And I also believe that his drive, you know, those kids would work around him and his drive would rub off on those kids. And it created a bunch of entrepreneurs. Now, I don't know all the businesses that jump from it, but I see all of them all the time on Facebook talking about their experience at that restaurant.
And what was the age difference between the two of you?
Hecky was 71. I am 64.
So he was an older cousin.
Right. You know, Hecky lived 10 years with a liver transplant.
Right.
So he was already weakened. His system was already weakened. So I'm not sure, you know. Now, people in my family are telling me it's COVID, so I'm going to follow their lead, you know, but I do remember the surgery that he had. I remember looking for a donor. I remember all of that, you know, and it's just a sad time. You know, he's a giant. You know, he did a lot of things, and you know, he grew up under that Bennett Johnson, those group of people. They just knew how to get Tom Fuller, Bennett Johnson. They were the black movers and shakers in Evanston at the time, and they grabbed Hecky and put him under their wing, and then Hecky did the same thing for another generation. So,
and it's interesting also because, I mean, so many people love and respect Hecky, and there were definitely times when people disagreed with him.
A lot, yes.
And he didn't always follow sort of the main...
And he also wasn't going to back down. He was going to stand on his position. If he believed in something, he believed in it. I remember when he tried to get trade schools inside the Evanston High School, and they gave him hell about that because he felt like everybody wasn't going to be a Oxford scholar. You know, some people needed skills, and he tried to get 2 wings of Evanston High School changed into a trade school, and it failed. but he sure worked on it for years.
And then he sort of followed that up recently with his organization, the WE program, the work ethic program.
And the Hecky Powell Foundation, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that I don't think we can measure this loss to what it really means, and not only for the entrepreneurial spirit of Hecky, but Hecky spent time right on Church and Dodge, and people of his age group know that he's like a penny that got shined up and just took off, and there's a lot of people who will always, I see Kevin Clay and other people of his age group that are on Facebook, and I know they understand what I'm saying, that he changed. It was all right for a street man to go into business and succeed after Hecky. We see Hecky do it.
So he inspired a lot of people.
Yes, without a doubt.